set you apart, and tell me your secrets, ask me your questions. Oh, let's go back to the start, running in circles, coming in tails. Heads are a science apart. Nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be this hard. Oh, take me back to the start. I was just guessing at numbers and figures, pulling the puzzles apart. Questions of science, science and progress do not speak as loud as my heart. So tell me you love me, come back and haunt me. Oh, and I rush to the stars, and running in circles, chasing tails, coming back as we are. Such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be so hard. I'm going back to the start. So clearly that one is dedicated to Marina. I'm, I have to put on some music actually. I'm laughing a little bit when I say that's dedicated to Marina. That's not because I'm trying to be mean or something, like mocking her, or laughing at her. The reason why I'm laughing is because it's gonna seem like I'm obsessed with her. Like she dumped me and I'm like writing a song for her. And that's why I'm laughing, because it's gonna seem like I'm like obsessed with her or something. But I'm not. Like I still love her. And you have to not write a song. You have to do a cover song of a breakup song after you break up with someone. And that's just how it is. And like, although I love her and she's really precious, and I'm multitasking right now, I'm just trying to get a good song here. I'm gonna go for something pretty slow, not very distracting, kind of like an ambient noise. I still have my own goals, like I'm not like obsessed or anything. Like I'm focused on my own goals here. And I'm kind of unaware where I am. If you try to find a map of yourself, have I been here before? You wonder, have I been here before? Have I reached higher peaks? Like Hunter S. Thompson had a line in his book. I wasn't impressed. I was at a friend's house who's a gang stalker. His name is Kevin. He has an obese mom. I shouldn't. This is totally trash talky here. But he talked about how bad his mom was to him. And when his mom came and I saw her for the first time, I burst out laughing. Like, oh, that's why you're such a piece of shit, to my friend Kevin here, who I had kind of a gay experience with. I don't really think I should go into that too much, but we jacked off together, just side by side. He didn't come. I was like, Kevin, your balls make me want to puke. Which I'm one to talk. My balls are fucked up. But not all the time. Sometimes they're nice and compact. It depends on blood pressure, I think. Like while I'm water fasting, they're pretty saggy. It's pretty fucked up. And I was always weirded out how Kevin never came. And Kevin came up to he lived in the basement, to the living room where I was sitting with my girlfriend at the time. And he said, we said, Kevin, you look really distraught, Kevin. What's going on? And he said, I'm trying to figure out if I'm gay. And we both laughed. And then after his dad's like this skinny guy, and he brought us lobster, and when his mom was leaving, I laid on the floor on my belly, and I was like, see you later, like to show ultimate submission, like I'm sorry for being so rude to you. And Kevin had told me he had mouthed her off before and finally like stood up to his family. I'm almost positive he was a gang stalker. I can't be exactly sure. His girlfriend definitely was, who was a real tease. She was weird. She got needles in her clit. That sounds sensational. She got needle. You're going to think, what? That almost sounds too sensational to be real. She had a rare, undiagnosable pain condition in her clit that started in her mid-20s, where she had excruciating pain in her clit. I was like, and she had she was retarded. She had a master's. I was like, I don't get how you, yeah, I get it. Osho says you can have a good memory and be a retard. What proves your intelligence is, are you good at cheating on the test? But just cramming your memory to pass the test does not prove intelligence. This girl was so dumb. I was like, your issue is psychosomatic. And she's like, what? And I was like, it's your mind causing it. And she's like, You don't think it's real? You think I'm lying? And I'm like, no, it's real, but it's in hindsight, it's the fact that you're a human trafficker and it's manifesting as pain. She'd get these injections in her clit. I mean, like fucking needles in her, like obviously, but I mean, isn't that sick? Isn't that fucked up? We were talking one time and she's like, can I go to the bathroom? And meanwhile, she's not meek. You know, that seems like a meek thing to say, like in the mid conversation, like, hey, I know we're really in this conversation, but can I go to the bathroom? That's not, that was just acting. You know, she's like very brazen, like very like fucking wolf in sheep's clothing brazen. She was hot though. You know, she offered me to pay for my trip to go visit her. She probably would have drugged me or something. You know what her job is? She works as a she works at a suicide hotline. You could imagine the sadism in that. You know how fucking sadistic those people are? There was another one who works, because I used to volunteer at the CAMH. And we weren't supposed to know this, but on the upward floor, it's where all the suicide hotline workers were. No one ever told us that, but someone said it through the grapevine. You're not supposed to know this, but upstairs, all those people there, they're all doing suicide hotline. And one of those girls was such a nasty gang stalker. She interrogates me because I waited at the door because you need a key fob to get in. So the meetings would start at 7 p.m. So you'd go to this bipolar support group. I co-facilitated that and the depression and anxiety. So Tuesday nights at 7 and Thursday nights at 7, and they'd go from 7 until 9. And so at 7 o'clock, I would sit upstairs and I would wait for people to come in who were late, because you have to ring the doorbell. So it's easier. And then you have to go downstairs and go through all these hallways. It's a big building. So it's easier just to sit upstairs and wait for the people who are late and just let them in. And this girl who knows that, who's this gang stalker who works at the suicide hotline, she's like, who are you? And I was like, I'm a volunteer here. Like, I have a key fob. Like, I let the people in who come late. And she's like, okay, so how did you get in? Or, you know, I don't think she literally said that, but she was just asking stupid questions, giving me a lot of anxiety. And at the time, I was so a big baby, I guess. I was like feeling like it was my fault. I was like, man, I'm really nervous here. And she's putting all that on me. I'm feeling the weight of her interrogation. And I'm like, this is all my fault and I feel bad. And she's hot too. And I'm feeling humiliated on so many levels. And then I go down to the group room and I hear this loud, obnoxious voice talking as if on the phone or with a person from like 100 feet down the hallways. The hallways are like probably like 200 or 300 feet long, and you can hear everyone throughout the hallway. But there's no one in the building except for us. We're downstairs. The suicide hotline people are 2 floors above. You can't hear them at all. And she's walking, like talking super loud, obnoxiously. She knocks on the door, and the other facilitator, she goes to answer the door, and this girl is there, and she's like, just so you know, there's someone who shouldn't be here in the building. I just want to let you know there's like a guy. And then so the facilitator is like, okay, well, we'll let you know if we see anyone. And she comes back to her seat. And then it's my turn to share. And I'm like, that fucking bitch over there was talking about me. She fucking interrogated me. That fucking rude bitch. And then I also volunteered on Fridays at the front desk just to help orientate people. Like, you know, you come in and you have a husband who's suffering with alcoholism. So I tell you, okay, here's who you call. Or, you know, like I manage where, like the front desk kind of thing. And so she's in the building and she sees me and I just look at her and I'm like, you fucking bitch. And as soon as she sees me, she like looks away and she like walks upstairs like a fucking floozy. Fucking skinny fucking bitch. Terrible bitch. Ugh. Well, anyways, so you you try to figure out, have I been here before? Like, I was happy before I was in a relationship with Marina, but I was also, you know, hoping. I was like longing. And maybe that's okay. Some people say it's not really good to hope, but you're also doing your best too. You're also working on meditation. Have you surpassed this point? I was at Kevin's place, and this Katie girl worked in that building too, but I had never seen her. But she gang stalked me near there. And at Kevin's place, he didn't know how to cook. You know, he was a basic guy. He had a nice camera, but he wasn't the type of guy who buys a $1,000 camera without knowing anything about photography and just, you know, shoots a few pictures here and there. So this Hunter S. Thompson book is there, and I think, I like the movie Fear and Loathing. Let me just read a little bit of what Hunter S. Thompson said. Now, he would do LSD every day, apparently, which I believe. And the page I open up to, it says, something about your life comes to some peak where it's this wave that tidals up, and you know you're reaching the final peak of your life, and it's never going to get that high again. And so on some level, you say, have I been here before? Is this the highest peak I've ever been at, or am I at some lesser peak that I've been here, like a Nine Inch Nails song, every day is exactly the same. I can't quite get past that final peak. And then how do you get there? Is it through love? Is it through meditation? Like, I was excited about LSD. Like, I got a check from the government, and I thought I could probably afford some LSD. And I could get it kind of on sale, maybe. But I've had issues, like, do I even want to do that? Like, yeah, it's great, but you're going to come back to the same place you're at, and you can't do LSD every day. Like, is it actually healthy for you? Is it going to hurt? Like, what's the deal, man? Is it revolutionary, or is it just rotten? And then I was excited, though, and I was listening to music, and I was all gung-ho, and I had this feeling of excitement in my stomach. And then all of a sudden I lost it. It was like I went limp inside. I can't explain it. It wasn't my physical muscles that went limp, but my feeling of my spirit, I guess, it went limp. I was listening to this song called The God Particle by Spangle, which is psychedelic music. All excited, thinking about looking forward to doing LSD. And how fucked is this? Today is day 22 of a water fast. My blood pressure is fine. I weigh 150 something pounds. I started off at almost 190. Now, if I wanted attention or something, I would be like, look at my before and after pics. But I don't care about those people who want to lose weight doing a water fast. That's not why you do a water fast. I have nothing in common with you if you try to lose weight by doing a water fast. And so I don't even care about that. So I didn't document that. But I weigh 150 something pounds now. And I lost quite a bit of weight. But my blood volume is good. My spread is good. Thank God. I've been drinking about 9.5 liters of water a day. And I've totally blanked out. I just can't remember what I'm talking about. Oh man, I wish I could. Something about the peak that rolls back. You find love, you find meditation. You wonder, should he get the LSD? I mean, that's where I'm at. I'm wondering if I should get LSD. I'm kind of divided right now. I don't want to talk about this. I want to remember the train of thought I was on. But I fucking lost it. Ugh, fucking zanks me. Damn. Ugh. Oh yeah, I'm on day 22 of a fast. You would think that the exciting thing in my life would be waiting to break the fast. Because the fast is not, for me, let me break this down for you. Okay, I'm just joking. I'm not going to condescend you like that. When you water fast as a normal person, okay, there was this guy, this fat guy, he was in a movie called Mall Cop. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's like, every year I fast for 40 days. That's not real fasting. You're fasting on like 2 liters of water a day, and you don't have enough blood when you do that. And you're compensating by taking elect salt to raise your blood pressure artificially. You're not accomplishing anything significant. The significant point of a water fast is that you remove the old waste in your small intestines. That's the whole point of it. And I've been wanting to do this for like a million years. And I'm betting that I've been fasting long enough. On day 22, I might go a little bit longer till like day 26. That when I eat food, which will be on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on the day of follow, episode 5 comes out, I will, within 4 or 5 days, start to remove this old shit, which I've been waiting to do for a long time, which will give me access to be able to have super hot body, to work out, to get fucking ripped, to be raw vegan like I want, to eat 2 meals a day, spaced 4 hours apart, 6 pounds total of food a day. Have all the room in my guts finally to do that. Just so you know, when you get older, you pee more because you have more shit in your small intestines. Medical science says this doesn't exist. Also, if you swallow a pill cam, you're not legally allowed to see that footage. You can get a quick snippet of it, a compilation of a minute long, but you're not allowed to see the full footage. You would think that the exciting thing in my life would be to eat. And here I am thinking, but if I order acid, it'll arrive by Wednesday, which will be the first day I'll be eating, and I can do acid on the first day I'm eating. But then you need proteins for acid to work properly too, which I've learned from ChatGPT and from fasting while doing acid. It's never as strong while you fast. You apparently need proteins to do that. I won't be adding in greens and salad until like a week after refeeding. So then I'd be doing acid in vain if I don't have enough protein in my diet, or it just wouldn't be as potentiated. And then do I want to wait a whole week? And is it even exciting enough? I mean, you could see the desperation here. Just give me the acid. Just give me the acid. You can see the desperation. And often it feels like when I do acid, the first thing I think always is, you gotta get here. You gotta get here. You gotta live here. You gotta get to you have to raise your consciousness. You absolutely must raise your consciousness. If you have to stop jacking off for 2 years, if you have to eat only celery and fucking twigs and tree bark, if you have to cut your fingers off, you have to do this. There's a complete wasted life as the alternative. You must get here. You absolutely must get here. And the second thing I think is, yeah, I know, I'll get it. Don't worry, I'll get it. Then the acid wears off. And then I go back to eating a vegan cheese sandwich. You should know, you should infer when I say cheese, I mean vegan cheese. And so it's like, are drugs really that revolutionary? Well, I have had higher peaks than acid while I was meditating, but I was in love. And so sometimes I still think of Chelsea, who is the catalyst for my meditation, but I've lost a lot of respect for her. I almost don't think of her as a real woman. And I'm starting to think, because Osho says, if you have some experience with meditation, leave it, and it's amazing, and then it passes, leave it behind. Don't go through your memory to find it again, because it might be leading you astray. Start fresh. And I mean, I might be making that up, but I kind of remember him saying something to that effect. I'm pretty sure he did say something like that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try meditating now. That's what I've been doing today, because you do have a lot more clarity when you're fasting, and your meditation is a lot easier, partially because of the reason that when your brain works better, your memory works better, and you have the remembrance. Sinning means to forget. You have the remembrance to meditate and not forget you're meditating. And that's the difference. It's not like being healthy is suddenly making you spiritual. It's just that when you meditate, you can actually meditate and not forget to meditate and just forget it and just go off on some other tangent. And so I was meditating today and thinking, don't think of Chelsea. Don't use Chelsea and the love that I felt with her. Don't imagine being in love and the validation of all that. Because some people say that when your ego reaches a certain height, like Chelsea was my very favorite. She was my first choice. When your ego reaches a certain height, it comes to an absolute ripeness, and then it pops. But before that happens, it doesn't pop, because it doesn't dissolve, because you've never actually experienced it to its fullness. Like, you can't transcend a desire that you've not fulfilled. And so I go into these meditation modes where I feel quite high, actually. When I think of her and I think of how wonderful I am and how I'm the coolest guy ever, and how I'm cooler than you and I'm cooler than everyone you know. I'm cooler than everyone I know. I'm just the coolest guy in the world because Chelsea loves me. Okay, it's kind of a fan. Now, does Chelsea really love me? No, I don't think so. And no matter how fucked up it is, you can always say, oh yes, she does. No matter how much someone abuses you and treats you like shit, you can always say, but it means they really love me. And to everyone else, it looks crazy, but you say, but I really know the real them. And I know that we have a special bond, that I'm so important that they wanted to hurt me because it validates them, because it's some sick thing that they have. And they chose me. They chose me to stand on, to feel big. Or you can go into the whole thing, or she's stuck in her position and she would love to be with me and she does love me and she gave me that. And the only lovers who are successful are lovers who can never meet. And it's destined to be like this because every love affair fails. Because you realize that they're just a beggar like you. But if you never get to meet them, you can keep the fantasy alive forever. And this is our cosmic understanding that we've had since we were in the womb together. We're the same age. Not that we were twins, but I mean, we knew each other in the womb. And then we psychically found each other in life. And we know that this is the way to prolong love forever. And life after life, we find each other. And our love is the most ultimate. And so I imagine this, you could call it a fantasy. And how cool I am and the love, and it just bubbles up. And then my ego sort of takes a rest. I get to this high point of my ego where I say, okay, I can relax now. All my validation needs are taken care of. I don't have anything to prove anymore. Finally, I'm not reaching. I'm not directed outwards. My orientation isn't looking outwards for something to fulfill me. I already have all the fulfillment I need. I'm completely fulfilled. And so now I can turn inwards and meditate, and I can just feel so amazing. And that had been my power move for quite a long time, for years after we talked last. And so tonight I was like, don't think of Chelsea. Don't even go there. Don't go into that whole love bit. Just focus on your meditation as you are. Just try it. You know, maybe your path is meditation. Maybe your path is love. Maybe you need love and that's really the only answer and you're totally fucked without it. But at least try and figure it out. At least try and do some meditation without thinking of Chelsea. And so I tried that and it was pretty great, really. What I did was I just focused on my entire body as one unit. And then I just breathed. I feel like I should say breathe. And then I breathe. And it wasn't sensational. And Osho says, don't expect something sensational. When you start meditating, don't expect you're going to explode or something. Otherwise, you might be meditating. You might be meditating and you might think, well, you're supposed to be so sensational. But I think it gets sensational after a while, but at the beginning it's not. So that lasted a bit. It was actually very successful. And the only reason I stopped was because I just got focused on other things. I was listening to Spongel. I watched a bit of porn. I almost jacked off. Thank God I didn't. It's day 2 of not jacking off. Yeah. Yeah, glad I didn't jack off. And I had much more receptivity to my meditation, which was very helpful. I was also happy to make this video, to be on day 22 of the fast. It was quite easy today. I've been drinking enough water. My balls have been really saggy. It's real. I really don't like my balls these days. My blood pressure is like 100 over 58, like 103 over 58 or something. Needs to go up a little bit. And so the other thing is I emailed Food Basics, a grocery store, to see if I can buy a case of mangoes. It may have been a mistake. I wanted to buy like 60 mangoes, but they'll all go ripe and I won't be able to eat them all. So I'm going to be trying to get cases of like smaller cases of mangoes, like $20 or $30 cases. Because if I'm eating 6 pounds of fruit a day, that's expensive. But you can get cheap fruit too, like watermelons are cheap and apples are cheap. So those can be like a staple. And then mangoes are like specialty. And then you think, maybe I should get the mangoes instead of the acid. I mean, acid will cost like $80. And for $80, I could get a lot of mangoes. I can get strawberries. I can get like really good fruits that are more expensive. How good would that be? Like a case of strawberries? I mean, those are fucking good. I'm not going to be mixing fruit. If I did, though, it would be really good. And I dreamt of eating fruit last night. If I mixed fruit, I would eat apples and avocados and medjool dates together. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Do you know what it would do to me right now if I ate medjool dates and apples and avocados? I'd be like, zzz, I'd be zing. Yeah, but that's kind of bad. You're not supposed to eat combined things. Your body prepares digestive juices for a specific kind of fruit. So when you mix things, it's not good. But I mean, that would be really fucking delicious. And last night I dreamt of eating watermelons. I've been watching cooking videos, and I think I could hack so many foods right now. Like, I think like my taste is so sensitive right now that I feel like I could go to any restaurant and just figure out how they make it. And obviously that's kind of tempting. But when I watch food videos, I don't have any visceral reaction. I'm not hungry at all. My body actually wants to keep fasting. And that's natural. Like, that's physiologically scientific. My body is saying you need to heal, and this is healing you. So even though I'm on day 22, and 21 days was always the minimum I was going to do it. And you got to open the door just a crack before you blow it off with your family. Obviously, if you say, I'm going to fast for 30 days, they're going to try to put you in the ward. So you say, yeah, I'm just going to do 21 days or something like that. And you show them your blood pressure machine and all this. And then after 21 days, you go, well, I might do another 5 days. And I could go 6 to 8 weeks if I wanted to. But I think that 26 days should be enough to do it. I'm kind of settled on 26 days. Seems like a good number. But it was exciting in a strange way. I felt guilty in my dream that I finally dreamt of fruit last night. It doesn't look appealing. It looks weird. When I see cooked food on TV, I'm like, you're a drug addict. Like, the reason why you had your wisdom teeth removed is because you eat cooked food. The reason you have a shrunken skull, shrunken brain, shrunken face is because you eat cooked food. The reason you wear glasses is because you eat cooked food. The reason your teeth are crooked is because you eat cooked food. The reason why we are at war is because you eat cooked food. And every generation gets progressively more retarded. And it's going just down to nuclear war. And like, Richard Feynman is not intelligent. Like, having a good memory is not intelligent. Have you ever seen Richard Feynman in an interview? He's like yelling at the interviewer. He's like, mind you. Like, just talking about something arbitrary. And I've heard some of his talks. He's just, yeah, he has a really good memory. Building a nuke is not intelligent. But I'm just doing the retard stare now. Here's the key to enlightenment, according to Brad Blanton, author of Radical Honesty. Just do this. Duh. Just say duh for 5 seconds. Yeah, so Bill, and you know who thought Einstein was a retard? Tesla. And so I look at all these cooked food videos. Tesla called him a crank. And I look at all these videos of there's this one guy, Dr. Vegan, with 2 N's, I think. He's like the best. If you want like really good vegan comfort food, it's this guy. And I don't have the visceral reaction to it anymore. And I'm just like, this is all just drugs. This is sick. This is actually sick. And then I see these, God forbid, I don't want to get heavy, these animal videos where it's like the treatment of animals, and I think, and the deforestation that comes with it, and I think, man, people are really just hell-bent on destroying the earth. You got to get your nut, no matter the cost. You got to get your nut. Gotta shrink your brain and be a retard because the pain of waking up is too much? But no one knows. I mean, how many people are educated? I mean, you're taught by J.D. Rockefeller, the world's first billionaire, who hijacked all the medical schools 100 years ago, gave them grants while investing in pharmacology, that water fasting isn't right and take a pill. And then to back up that whole scheme, you have cooked food to make you sick in the first place so that you need the pills. And this is what you're taught right from birth. And so what is it going to matter when I say it? And then even if you believe me, you're going to do a 21-day water fast. You're going to take off work. You can't do that. You're going to try to go raw vegan. The fruit you're going to get isn't going to be picked ripe. It's going to be hard to do. You're going to have all this shit in your guts. You're not going to be able to eat the volume of fruit you need. But 100 years ago, all the doctors would have taught water fasting. You'll go the surgical route. I mean, my grandma has a hernia, and she has like what looks like a pregnancy from this hernia, and I want to tell her just do a water fast, but she'll not do it. She'll either just live with it or she'll get a surgical procedure. And it worries me, but a lot of people, they won't do it. And I don't know if this is her case, but I suspect that for a lot of people, it's too difficult for emotional reasons. That food is such an actual medication that you actually can't deal with your emotions to just relax. And I'm guilty too. I mean, I fucking had to jack off throughout my water fast, which is against the rules, just because I had, I fucking know, just because I had so much tension. Is it because everyone's a gang stalker and no one wants to deal with it? Okay. I feel like there was a hair on my nose or something. I don't know. Now, I've had some issues too. I felt like I'm a bad person and that's why I can't meditate. Today I felt like that. I've also thought I'm really traumatized. I thought I'm super traumatized and that's why I can't meditate. And I've also thought, in regards to being traumatized, that, well, yesterday I started feeling warmth in my foreskin that I hadn't felt in years. And I thought, I think I am feeling this because I'm getting over sexual trauma. And one of the main factors of traumatizing someone is to destroy their sexuality. Because if your sex is your life energy, which it is, and you can destroy someone's sensitivity in their genitals, then their energy doesn't even go anywhere because that's the starting point of the energy. So it's like that's the ladder and you cut the ladder right from the beginning. And so I had this really warm feeling in my foreskin. It was just like so warm and it was so good. And I don't even know if I want to call it sexual. It was just like pure pleasure. But it wasn't like a boner or something. It wasn't masturbatory. It was just like the most warm feeling ever. And you know how you can have referred pain where you have like a nerve where you hurt something in your leg and then you feel it in your shoulder? I had referred pleasure from my foreskin. It was just radiating through my body. And I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm actually healing my trauma right now. Like I'm getting back into this feeling of pleasure. And I don't know if I should call this meditation, but I can at least call this pleasure. This is like severe pleasure. And then I forgot how to do it. I was like, oh no, I lost it. I was trying to get it back. And then I finally got it back. And then I just kind of forgot about it. And today I didn't really try going back to it. And I haven't had a wet dick in a long time. Before I got traumatized, or before I ruined my life and became a bad person, I had a wet dick all the time because I was so healthy. Now, I don't really think I'm a bad person. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I think if I'm not going to call myself a bad person, then I need to extend that to gang stalkers and say they're human trafficked too. But then it gets more complex than that because I've never harmed anyone. I've just said bad things. But then I think, have I really said bad things? Maybe I haven't. I mean, it depends on who's making the judgment. But just supposing I have, that was under threat and duress. ChatGPT says that doesn't make me a bad person. And so I don't know, maybe I'm not a bad person and I just think that I'm a bad person and that's traumatizing me. Or maybe I'm not a bad person and I'm just seriously traumatized and I just can't meditate. Or here's the other option. This is what I kind of suspect sometimes because I don't have a wet dick anymore. That you have to be healthy to meditate. You have to purify your temple. And in my trauma, it is reversible. And over the years, I spent all my time eating pizza and jacking off, and I brought my health to such a low state that I'm not even capable of meditating anymore. And I need to bring it up to a certain point before I can even get back into my meditation. And that's what water fasting is doing. That's bringing me back up to that level. And so you can try and think of all the excuses in the world and your mind will come up with those. If you're trying your best to meditate and you can't because you're simply too loaded, but you don't realize it, your body, or your mind, will say, well, it's because you're a bad person or it's because you don't have the right technique. But you might very well have the right technique, but you have no energy to even meditate. You're like 0 voltage and you're trying to transmute it and channel it, but there's nothing even there to begin with. You're like a dead battery and you're trying to do your tricks and your spins and stuff. That seems very plausible. And I think the wet dick is a big clue. And so for that, there's water fasting, there's eating fruit, and there's not jacking off. And I think that should help. And then I can get back to a place where, and I know OSHA says don't use your memory, don't go back into trying to recreate the past. I can go back to where I was before I was traumatized, which at that point I did use Chelsea as the kind of muse and catalyst for my secret weapon to feel illuminated. But maybe I could have a new form of meditation where I don't need her. I think that would be healthy too. Because I don't want to be like some needy person or something. That's kind of, she's not in my life, and I don't want to just guess the reasons why and say she does love me. That seems kind of pathetic. So it might be kind of difficult now because now I know that I'm also not impressed with Chelsea too. I'm also seriously not impressed like I used to be. And so it might be a little bit more difficult now. If I get more healthy and I try to meditate, well, the outlook is kind of bleak. What do I have to look forward to? Just meditation and nothing else? I used to look forward to some kind of good future worth living into. Now what do I have? Nothing? But maybe, you never know. I mean, I have had a love life. I have had a love life. I mean, I did just get out of a relationship. So, yeah, maybe it will be better. And obviously, if you have hopes for love, you want to be as beautiful as possible. So, obviously, by getting healthy, by eating fruit, I'm going to be as beautiful as possible. Plus, I'll work out, I'll have better skin, I'll have more bone structure. My eyelids will be better. So I think I'm doing everything I can. I think my meditation is going to go pretty well. It's looking promising. The trajectory is already there. That you do have to have a certain degree of health first. That seems like a general fact of life, as unfair as it is. That you have to do that hard work, that you're not above the process. It seems like part of the process. You have to be disciplined. Like the word disciple, discipline, it comes from the same word. The captain was disciplined in The Sound of Music. So, but I used to imagine I was him and Chelsea was Maria, so I should forget that movie. Anyways, we're getting dogs this week. That's about it. It was nice chatting. Thanks for watching. I got 110 subscribers now. That's pretty cool. And yeah, so now should I get acid or not? Man, I don't. Do you ever feel guilt for something like that? You're like, don't do it. Get the fruit. Yeah. Osho says drugs are not allowed in his commune because for someone who meditates, drugs will only bring you down. But then he also says in another talk, he has to say that or they'd shut his commune down. He can't let all the people in his commune go naked and do drugs because they'd shut it down. And drugs are revolutionary. But both are true. What he's saying really about meditation being higher is actually true. And so part of me feels guilt, like don't do it. And you look how excited you are for it. You're more excited about that than you are for fruit. Isn't that a fiendish? Don't you feel pathetic? Isn't it violent? And that's what he says about drugs too. It's violent. You're changing your chemistry using force. That's violent. That's not good for you. I'm like, yeah. But I'm not gonna jack off. But I'm not gonna eat fucking cheeseburgers. Don't I need something? And I just love getting on camera when I'm high and I feel all insightful. I feel like, oh, I'm the really coolest now. Now I have all the insights. Now, am I getting up to psychedelic level through natural methods? Yeah. Oh, it's slow. If acid is level 100, I might be on level 6, but I started at level 0. It's slow, but it's there. It might take 6 months. It might take a year. And by the time I get there, I might not even realize it anymore. It might be so slow that I go, oh my God, I was here and I didn't even realize it. And that's a lot of discipline and a lot of effort. And do I have the resolve for that? When the whole time I'm thinking, but there's no future worth living into anyway because I'm totally fucked. Well, maybe I'm just a bad person. And I'm totally fucked forever. Doesn't matter what I do. I'm tainted. I'm tarnished. I'm tainted forever. I can never respect myself again. I can never love myself again. And okay, yeah, maybe that's trauma too. Maybe that's trauma. Yeah, of course, when you go through trauma, you blame yourself. That doesn't mean you're not a bad person. But it might. But who gives a shit anyway? Spirituality isn't morality. Spirituality has nothing to do with morality. But if you feel like you have this nagging feeling that you can't get over of this cognitive dissonance, that you're trying to behold yourself as a Buddha and an enlightened being on one hand, and on the other hand you feel like a rotten piece of shit, you can't really meditate with confidence while the whole time you're thinking, yeah, but really I'm just terrible. And you have to get over that. You have to be like, I am okay. I am beautiful. No matter what they say. Words won't bring me down today. Now, this camera's on a keyboard. The next song I'll do is Politic by Coldplay. I'll play it on the keyboard. It'll be good. I should, the other thing is I can get a pedal. I need a pedal for my keyboard. I don't know where mine went. I had one. Why buy acid? Why not buy a pedal for your keyboard? Coldplay would get a pedal for their keyboard. They wouldn't get acid. And look how fucking zankin' they are. That's another thing. That's like, that feels more wholesome. Buy a pedal. Don't buy acid, buy a pedal. I don't know what to do. And I also think, what if it fucks everything up? What if I do acid and I go eat a cheeseburger? I think, well, I'm enlightened now, so it doesn't matter. I can do anything I want, I'm enlightened. And I go buy a fucking vegan buffalo chicken burger at Pizza. I worry. The come down on acid is fucking hard. It's hard. It's not easy. What goes up comes down. It's fucking. A lot of times I enjoy being sober the next day, but usually, the come downs have been hardest while I've been water fasting. Really, I'm usually okay when I do it while I'm eating. But while I'm eating, I'll be sipping water all day. I'll be eating every 2 hours. It'll be like hard work, like a hard work day. While trying to trip and enjoy it. Just something about it seems off. Something about me is just like, don't do it. It's not right. I know it'll make these last 5 days, you have 4 days left on your fast. It'll make it easier because you're going to have something to hope for. That's kind of what you're thinking. The acid's going to arrive right when you're done your fast. So you can hope, you can imagine how great it's going to be, and it'll get you through these last 4 days. But it's not going to be as good as you think. And when it wears off, you're going to be going right back to, well, how do I get there without the acid? And, Now, Neem Crawley Baba, an enlightened guy who I really like, he was enlightened, but he wasn't a master. And he said acid will give you faith. And he was Ram Dass's master. Well, he was a master, but he wasn't a master as in like Osho. I mean a master in different senses. Osho is a master because he can articulate what's happening. Neem Crawley Baba can't articulate it. You just have to recognize he's enlightened, and then you just stay in his presence, and it goes to you. And so, in that sense, he was Ram Dass's master. Okay, well, anyway, that's about all I got. Thanks for watching. I hope you're, I don't know, I'm just talking shit. I don't really have any hopes. Okay, bye.